Call to order the Ashland Board of Commissioners meeting for Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. Start with an invocation and then a Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we come this noonday thanking you for your continued blessing on our city. Your word says, by the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted. We once again ask for your blessing and favor on Ashland, Kentucky. We ask once again for your divine wisdom and guidance on this board of mayor and commissioners as we strive to make the right decisions for our city on behalf of our citizens and for their best interest. Bless our city manager, our staff and employees, and those in attendance today and in our viewing audience. We pray this in Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner Goot. Mr. Wirtz, do we have a motion to receive and file the agenda?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We have a motion to receive and file the minutes for the regular meeting held on May 26, 2022, the regular meeting held on June 9, 2022, and the recess meeting held on June 10, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Hearings and reports. Commissioners, if you will allow me to start. Just want to take this opportunity to wish somebody in my life personally a very happy birthday, my dad, and
Amen.
he is here, and appreciate you, and hope you have a great day. I'm sure spending it with us here in the commission was probably not a part of that, but we're glad you're here.
Stay off the riding lawnmower today. That's your gift.
Also, I want to take this opportunity to recognize somebody. Michelle Grubb, could you come forward, please?
No, it's not an audio issue or something.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not a technical. Michelle, we've learned obviously that you are moving on, and we are sincerely going to miss you. On behalf of the board, I'd like to issue this proclamation. Whereas Miss Michelle Grubb and her family will depart Ashland, Kentucky in July 2022, and whereas Miss Grubb has contributed in both depth and breadth to downtown revitalization efforts in Ashland, Kentucky, and whereas these contributions to the revitalization efforts were demonstrated through her inspired dedication and leadership in her duties with the city staff and also as a member of the Destination Ashland effort, and whereas her coordinated efforts with a myriad others resulted in rebranding Ashland with a focused, welcoming, inclusive message of Create With Us. And whereas she was near solely responsible for coordinating a dramatic makeover of the City of Ashland's website and serious foray into effective use of social media platforms to propel the same branding efforts. And whereas the coordinated efforts resulted in the designation of Broadway Square in the district, now therefore be it proclaimed by the City of Ashland this 23rd day of June that I, Matt Perkins, Mayor, and Board of Commissioners take great pleasure in recognizing the significant professional achievements of Miss Michelle Grubb, and herewith express its sincere gratitude for the invaluable contributions she has made to the city and the citizens of Ashland. We're going to miss you. No comments from the peanut gallery. All right, we'll move on to our commissioners. Commissioner Goot?
Well, we were honored to be at a ribbon cutting yesterday at Sal's.
Yes.
It was a great occasion, and this It's turned out to be a very successful restaurant over there. This was once the Chimney Corner and then Blazers, so we're happy for Billy and Christy Bear and their new endeavor over there. They have several in town. And want to make mention of from 9 to 1 on Saturday, there's going to be a vendor's market called Maker's Market down at the square, at Broadway Square. And we invite everybody to come between 9 and 1. It's called Maker's Market. And one of my former players, Conley Thomas, is spearheading that with others in the AKY Moms. The last one I have is there's going to be a great lineup for Summer Motion. We won't be meeting here until the last Thursday of July. Is that correct?
As far as I know,
Last
City
Thursday,
Manager, you won't be in town till then, right? Okay, all right.
So we only have one meeting in July, so we won't see you. But from July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, there's going to be some great concerts on the river, and we look forward to that Summer Motion. That's all I have.
All right, Commissioner Spriggs?
I went to Sal's yesterday too. What a great addition to our community, and we're so happy to have Billy and Christy Bear as part of our restaurant community. They bring, varied things. It's not always the same thing, so we're really, really thrilled. And of course, I love that restaurant. Also, gosh, there was nothing else going on in Ashland over the weekend, right? Well, it kicked off on Saturday with Firkenfest, and the two ladies who were really big in helping us make this happen, Brandy, Clark, and Courtney, are here today. And I want to thank the City of Ashland and all those volunteers that came out to make that, and all the people who love beer and helped make this a success. And Ashland was buzzing and hopping with no problems. It was just a wonderful thing. A lot of effort went into this, and it just is a part of making our city shine and offering different things. So AIM and VAKY, what great job collaborating together. When you work on a common goal, you can accomplish anything. So I look forward to working on it again next year with you all, and I'm glad you're here today. I guess that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Spriggs. Commissioner Bland?
Alrighty. Just to start on a little bit of a somber note, we had a terrible incident in the city last week, and our hearts and prayers are with the families. But I just wanted to recognize Chief Kelly and his officers for their response and your professionalism and how you handled. You're the first face that the community sees in something like that, and your statements and how he worked with the other agencies as well. We're really proud to have you and proud of your officers, and also our thoughts are with the officers who had to see what they saw. So thank you very much. So one other note, so 4th of July is coming up, as the Commissioner noted, and fireworks are great fun, but living in a quiet neighborhood now in South Ashland and not downtown, I appreciate that quiet a lot. And I also have a very pregnant wife who would appreciate also citizens being good humans and thinking about how they use those fireworks in the neighborhoods. We do have ordinances, but please be aware and think about the people in their homes, not just my wife, but we have veterans, we have children and adults with sensory issues. Please keep them in mind and be responsible during the holiday.
And animals also.
And animals, very, very fair point. Last note is just about our budget, which we'll talk about as we go through the meeting, but I just wanted to give my thank yous right now up front to the finance team, all of our staff members, city manager, for that process. It's a long, intense process, especially for the staff. So it's you're going to hear a lot of discussion of that today, and honestly, that's one of the things I was looking forward to coming into this job, because that's something that I enjoy, and it's I'd say it's arguably one of our most important jobs, is settling on a budget for the city. So so that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. City Manager?
Just a couple of things. Would like to echo what a fantastic day Saturday was for the public's knowledge. There, of course, whenever we have events like that, there's always areas that can be improved. We had a very robust after-action review yesterday. Had a very robust after-action review yesterday with the Paramount and the vast majority of the staff. So we know future events are coming up, and we believe we're going to be much better at that as a result of the experiences we had with this. Day-to-day continues to go on, as Commissioner talked about, a very tough situation that we had with law enforcement. Again, echo those comments. And same word over 100 times is budget, budget, budget. So the entire staff did a lot of great work. But Tony and Michelle, we threw them some curveballs that a lot of people didn't see at the very end. So they had a product that was near completion, and let's just say they hit the curveball out of the park. So publicly want to recognize them. And the last thing, Michelle Grubb, there's nothing else I can say but thank you. That's it, Mayor.
Okay. At this point, we're going to have public participation. Anyone with a comment or request may come to the podium and address the commission concerning matters related to city business, services, or personnel. Comments related to election issues or concerning personal disputes will not be allowed. We ask that your presentations are limited to 5 minutes. Only one speaker is permitted per subject. No action will be taken at this meeting. Those with comments are asked to fill out an inquiry complaint form and leave it with the city clerk for distribution to the proper city department. Would anybody at this time like to come forward? Mr. Wirtz?
Last weekend was our state convention, and I earned another badge for my volunteerism. Also, I found out from a few of the leaders, the state commander, and then we got a new state commander. Also, I found out we're looking at our hotel down the street for our convention.
Good.
Yeah, yes.
So you're going to have about 250 drunk soldiers and sailors. I'm going to be one of them. So anyway, but anyway, I got through Memorial Day fine. So Mike, me and you going to get,
Get an A for candor.
yeah,
Thanks for giving our police department a heads up.
yeah. Sorry, Chief. I didn't. Anyway, Memorial Day went good, except for one thing. I was a cemetery over in Boyd County, Dixon, and somebody stole about 50 of my flags for no reason. I don't know who did it. I don't know. I have no clue. But I'm attending the fiscal court meeting Tuesday, and I'm going to let them know what happened. So, and I went over and made Ashland Cemetery look. Some of them done them right, some of them done them wrong, and I went back and fixed them. They was some missed, but I took care of it. So,
Mike, thanks so much.
Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Anybody else like to speak?
Hello, Brandy Clark with the Ashland Tourism and Convention Commission. Just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on in our office. So thank you to the city parks, streets, sanitation, the police department, and the fire department for all the help with Firkenfest. From start to finish, they helped make the events a huge success. A big shout out to the team at the Paramount. The concert at the Riverfront caused Ashland to trend on Twitter Sunday morning, which is a big deal. Then this weekend, on Saturday morning, we have our first Makers Market on the square with the AKY Moms group. We'll have fresh produce, plants, baked goods, and artisan crafts. Saturday evening, we have our movie on the square featuring Father of the Bride. The movie begins at dusk, and we ask that guests bring a comfy chair, and we will bring the popcorn and cotton candy. And I missed on Friday evening, we have a performance at Broadway Square with the Ashland Dance Cats. That starts at 6 o'clock. And as of right now, Visit Ashland has events scheduled every Friday and Saturday for the rest of the summer season, and we are adding more events every week. An update on the Lewis and Clark Trail. We had a group called Terrain 360 arrive Tuesday of this week. They launched from the Port of Ashland at 8:30 a.m. They're filming the Ohio River for 4 days, capturing a digital map of the pathway Lewis and Clark traveled. The images and video will be featured on the Lewis and Clark Trail website as well as the National Park Service website. While filming, they are also capturing footage of the surrounding towns along the trail. The equipment they use captures 30,000 images every 12 feet, so it's similar to Google Earth.
Wow.
And another bit of good news, the Ashland Tourism and Convention Commission received an EDA grant from Kentucky Tourism for a little over $50,000. There were strict guidelines for what we could use this money for, and we've chosen to use a large portion of that grant to go towards a feasibility study for a permanent stage at the riverfront.
Awesome.
Fabulous.
That's it.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Brandy.
Brandy, I just want to say, you are doing such a great job over there. I continue to be amazed at the innovative ideas and things you come up with and make it happen. So we're so appreciative of you and your post, and of course your sidekick Courtney there.
I totally agree. You're knocking it out of the park. I appreciate it.
Dynamic duo for
Yes.
sure. Would anybody else like to speak? Okay, we're going to move on to the consent agenda.
Consent agenda, a resolution of the City of Ashland, Kentucky adopting, authorizing, and approving the course of action presented by the city manager on the items appearing on the consent agenda for the regular meeting of the Board of City Commissioners of June 23rd, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All
City
in
manager?
favor? Oh, yes, go ahead.
How many houses now are we up to?
You got me, Commissioner. I didn't have that with me. Chris, do you happen to?
It's in the 40s, isn't it? Okay, all right,
It's hard to keep track. We're doing them so fast.
yeah.
You were at a demo today.
Yes, I was.
All right.
You know that? What is it? 47.
47, all right.
Thank you so much, Lynn.
Wow.
I
Lynn,
appreciate that.
Lynn,
I needed it for a grant, so I had to contact you.
Fantastic.
there you go. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, new business.
New business item A, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a construction contract between the City of Ashland and Leidy Contracting LLC for the concrete sidewalk grinding, sidewalk trip hazard repair project in the amount of $36,600 for the Department of Engineering.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, where are we going to be doing this, the majority of this?
Mr. Cole?
A significant portion of it is around Central Park area.
Okay.
Some of the improvements that don't have sidewalks in that area. And we also have some along Montgomery Street.
Well, I ask because this is the first time I've seen this being done. So, I mean, if it did happen, well, I was not on commission at the time, so I
We've
was
done-
really interested in that.
We've done it in the past, but it's been a couple of years since it's been done.
Very good.
While we're talking about sidewalks, are we planning this next budget year to jumpstart the cost-sharing sidewalk program? Had that been delayed due to COVID? Or has that actually been in effect the whole time?
Been in effect the whole time, and there is not a large participation in that program.
We had I agree. I think I see a lot of sidewalks that need repair. We had $1 million budgeted in this fiscal year. Do you have an idea of how close we were to meeting that and as far as sidewalk replacement?
We spent the better part of last year, and then we continue right now finalizing an evaluation of sidewalk replacement areas. If you recall, we were down one individual in the engineering department for over a year and a half.
Sure.
That impacted
COVID. Sure. Very good. Good news.
Could I ask, on that cost sharing, is that still 75, the city pays 75 and the participant 25? Or, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Cole. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item B, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute amendment number 2 to the July 29, 2019 agreement between the City of Ashland, Kentucky and Strand Associates, Inc. for the wastewater treatment plant expansion and improvements project, increasing the cost in the amount of $57,920 and revising scheduled completion dates.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item C, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, amending ordinance number 43, series of 2016, as amended by ordinance number 104, series of 2016, and ordinance number 158, series of 2020, providing for the rules and regulations for the use of Central Park and other city parks within the City of Ashland, Kentucky, fixing penalties for the violation thereof, adopting the facility use rental information form for the use of city park facilities, and repealing all other ordinances in conflict therewith.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item D, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, designating the unnamed roadway leading from Southern Hills Drive to 3900 Southern Hills Drive as Connor Court, and accepting ownership, maintenance, and operation responsibilities for Connor Court located within the City of Ashland.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item E, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a professional services contract between the City of Ashland, Kentucky, and Palmer Engineering for professional engineering services for the design of the Winchester Avenue 13th Street to 18th Street roadway streetscape improvements project in the amount of $399,923 for the Department of Engineering.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item F, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a professional service contract between the City of Ashland, Kentucky, and Palmer Engineering for professional engineering services for the design of the Winchester Avenue 7th Street to 12th Street and 18th Street to 21st Street roadway streetscape improvements project in the amount of $249,660 for the Department of Engineering.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item G, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a mutual aid agreement between the City of Ashland, Ashland Fire Department, and the Route 504 Volunteer Fire Department in Greenham County, Kentucky.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item H, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Ashland, Kentucky, and garage door operators for the purchase and installation of a garage door system at Central Fire Station in the amount of $425,833.60 for the Ashland Fire Department.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item I, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, fixing the tax levy for the year 2022 payable in the year 2023 on the bank deposits franchise tax for the revenue purposes by the City of Ashland.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Is there no change in this rate? So we are maintaining status quo. All right. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item J, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, fixing the ad valorem tax levy for the year 2022 payable in the year 2022 on real estate, personal property, and franchises in the City of Ashland for the city revenue purposes, providing for a discount of 1% on ad valorem taxes only, which are paid on or before the 15th day following the bill date, and providing for a penalty of 10% and 6% interest per annum for any taxes which are paid after the due date, said due date being 30 days following the bill date.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item K, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, adopting the revised job description for the positions of Chief of Police and Administrative Assistant in the Department of Police, removing alcoholic beverage control responsibilities, adopting the revised job description for the position of Public Information Officer in the Department of General Government, creating the Department of Risk Management in General Government, adopting the job description for the position of Chief Risk Management Officer in the Department of Risk Management as a replacement for the Risk Manager in the Department of Human Resources, adopting the job description for the position of Asset Manager and Alcoholic Beverage Control Administrator in the Department of Risk Management, adopting the revised job description for the position of Secretary 1/2 in the Department of General Government, separating the description for the position of Human Resources Director and the job description for the position of Parks and Recreation Director, and adopting the amended authorized positions list of the Policies and Procedures Compensation Plan and Classification Plan as adopted by ordinance number 51, series of 2017, as previously amended.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just continue. We've talked about this in our budget session. This affects our organization, not organization. It affects our city structure quite a bit, obviously. There are a few different position changes there. The only one that I've had to try to really understand, and I've put a lot of thought into this since we had our budget session, is the standalone parks director. Just to frame the issue, parks is with HR in our structure right now, which obviously that's not probably normal for most any organization. But so we essentially want to do something, and I totally understand the benefit of what comes along with a standalone director. So this is one I've honestly wrestled with. My concern, and going to a concern that I think we should think about in future budgets. I think we did a very good job in past, or we'll talk about a very good budget coming up. But we have, I believe, 12 city parks and or 13 city parks and 12 parks employees, and so that includes our superintendent and admin position. So the people, I mean, we've done some amazing projects in the last year and a half, and I think we've made the right decisions on all of that, how we've done that even financially. I think we have to consider, not just in parks, our people, because I can tell you firsthand, pay and recruiting and staffing, I mean, I think everybody knows this, but it's an incredibly big challenge right now. So, adding another director at $119,000 total, and I think we've all had our own different fiscal concerns, and I think that's great that we continue to think this way. But to me, adding that director and not the power, which it should work through the director of the department, takes the concerns of their people to the city manager and then to us. And I would, that's what I encourage to happen. But I think we have to look at that, and it's hard for me to see a standalone director when that we're still at that position as far as the people doing the job. So and other than that, and I understand our city, we're having all these great events, we're doing all these different things, and there is a thought for the city themselves to do more events. That's something that I think I've been pretty vocal about, that we've got citizens who do a great job having events. Citizen creators, I call them a lot, and I think it's our job to provide the facility and the framework for that. So I think that if we were wanting to encourage events in the city, in the parks, or anywhere in the city, maybe we should give some more money to the people who are doing the events, which is tourism. So that's just where and like I said, I went back and forth a lot on it. That's not the only change. Obviously, we've got other changes in this. So it's a lot of change for our structure of the city. So but that's my main concern with this.
I just want to say something, if I could, Mr. Mayor. The parks used to be its own separate department. And I think it warrants that. We've grown these parks. We've got great assets in these parks. The reason of the employees is we have a lot of summer help, which takes care of our park system during the summer. We don't need that many during the winter. But as we all know, we've spent a lot of money on our park system. When I was on Commission 4, I was not for combining the parks manager director with HR. I thought it was a bad move, and I think we've seen some of the consequences of that over the years. I think this is a good move. The one thing I had the problem with was the asset manager, and I've been told that this will save us money. I believe the department heads ought to be responsible for a great deal of these things, but I'm going to be watching to see how much money the asset manager actually can save us.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any other comments?
You can be sure the asset manager won't be sitting on his asset for
He'll be
this
sitting
amount
on
of
our
money.
assets.
I am for this, and I'm glad we're doing this because it makes us more accountable in all our departments. And parks was never meant to be combined. It never was meant to be, and we've kind of juggled that, but I'm glad it's a standalone thing at this point.
And we're hiring 4 new police officers.
Yes.
That's what I was about to say, Commissioner. I think the most important thing on this ordinance to show our commitment to public safety is the addition of 4 police officers. We are cognizant of the challenges that this community faces with addiction and homelessness, mental health, and I think it would be improper of us as a board to not provide our police department with additional help that they so desperately need to get the job done. And they do a great job. But I think this commission is showing you we are about public safety. We are committed to you all. We have been committed to you all, continue to be committed to you all to address these issues. And of course, we always ask that you come to us with anything you need in the future. We support our police department, our fire department, all of our departments 110%. And I do want to mention we did add another bus driver
Yes.
in an effort to further strengthen our bus system, and I think that's also important to recognize at this time. Is there any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Item L, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, amending the salary chart of the Policies and Procedures Compensation Plan and Classification Plan as adopted by ordinance number 51, series of 2017, as previously amended."
So,
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item M, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, amending Section 2 of Ordinance Number 83, Series of 2021, as amended by Ordinance Number 5, Series of 2022, which is commonly known and referred to as the fiscal year 2021-22 budget ordinance of the City of Ashland."
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion?
yeah,
All-
is this the time to give comments about it? Just a little summary of it.
Commissioner, it's whatever you want to
Thank
do.
you, thank you. Okay, just a couple points. I mean, listen, I'm a budget nerd, honestly, so I wanted to make a couple points that we went through in the 2 budget sessions that we've had. So first, we talked about where we are in debt. The city's extremely low on our debt percentage, which is great. And by the way, just a comment to this commission, but also previous commissions. My overall assessment personally is we're in good financial health, and that didn't happen in the last 2 years. That's happened as a culmination of several of decades, honestly. So, you're to be commended on how we've got to this point. So, as I mentioned, debt incredibly low for where the regulation is for debt levels. Every dime of our ARPA money went to infrastructure. That's extremely important. 98% recovery on property taxes, $2 million going to water line replacements again. All of this is incredibly important. And by the way, think about last year when we passed the budget. What did we say? This is a very ambitious budget. It's great that we've got this funding, but it's going to be incredibly difficult to get all of this done. Well, guess what? The staff's gotten most of it done. So appreciate the staff, appreciate the city manager for doing that. It's easy to look at this and see we're in good shape and vote, but getting it done is another story. So I thank you all for that. I do think long-term, it's important for us to consider the issues that everybody's having with people and what we pay our employees. I think is incredibly important, and understand that we're being competitive. We know there are jobs that we have issues with as far as pay and retention. So I think it's incredibly important that we continue to address that. So, and we know we have issues like our sewer plant out there and things like that. So just because we're in good financial health right now, we've got to keep that in our minds, and I know this commission does. So we've got big projects out there like our sewer plant and things like that we have to keep in the forefront. So overall, thank you all for your work on this. Thank my colleagues and the city manager on a good budget.
I'd like to echo that, and I want to personally thank Tony and Michelle for their hard work on the budget. And also, one of the greatest things in the paper this past week was the announcement of the $80 million renovation to King's Daughters Medical Center with the addition of jobs. And so, that plays into all this. And so we're very, very thankful for King's Daughters at this time.
I just want to say thanks to Tony and Michelle too and all their gang that work, or they are the drivers of this. And I have to say, this was an amazing budget. We were even able to have some money to put in restricted funds for economic development. Never had that before. Never had that before. So we're in such good shape. I'm heartened by seeing this. We are frugal with our money, with the taxpayers' money. So it was good to go through and look at all of these changes and things we're making in our infrastructure, and that will last forever. It's really the legacy of what we're doing. It will last forever. So I'm really proud of the city, proud of the work this happened, and so I'm ready to go. This is great.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, I do also think Tony and Michelle deserve our utmost thanks. They work long hours, year-round, to make this happen for us. And we are in a great financial position because of your all's accomplishments. Some of the refinancing suggestions that you all made to us saved us serious money that we could then pour into other projects to benefit the taxpayers directly. So I commend you all every day for what you do to make our city financially sound. This past year's budget was indeed ambitious, but it was important because it brought a lot of projects that our community had asked for, wanted us to work on, back to the public.
Yep.
Infrastructure, we did it. Parks, we did it. Public safety, we've done it. We continue to make the changes that our citizens ask of us. We are a very open and honest commission. Everything we do is above board here. We have our budget hearings are in public. We've spent months trying to figure out what's the best way we can use this money so that it will give the best return to the taxpayer. I do want to comment that we did set aside this year a significant amount of money, millions in fact, for economic development. So while we work on the present, we are planning for the future.
Yes.
And I think this commission, again, is showing a serious commitment to being ready with these big dollars, if you will, should there be an opportunity to seize on for good-paying jobs and serious infrastructure and private investment. The other thing I want to comment on is, City Manager, we really are lucky with your leadership to see this past year's accomplishments. We know that it's a difficult task when you have 5 bosses, but you have done the best you could, I think, with your staff and directors and all the way down to make our dreams come true for our citizens. And I really want to take this opportunity to commend you on that.
Absolutely.
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item N, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, approving and adopting the 2022-2023 budget and appropriating revenues on hand and to be received during the year 2022-2023 for the payment of expenses of the City of Ashland for the 12-month period beginning July 1, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023, and repealing all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict therewith.
So moved.
So moved.
Any,
Wow.
do we have a
Second.
second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item O, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to the City of Ashland, Kentucky, fixing the regulatory license fee at 4% of the gross receipts from the sale of alcoholic beverages within said city during the fiscal year July 1, 2022 through June 30, 2023, as authorized and imposed by subsection 24 of ordinance number 8, series of 2021, known and cited as the Alcoholic Beverage Control Ordinance for the City of Ashland. Such proceeds to be used to reimburse the city for expenses related to the sale of alcoholic beverages therein.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item P, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, amending Article 20 of the agreement between the City of Ashland, Kentucky and Ashland City Police members, Fraternal Order of Police, Ashland Lodge Number 3, as adopted by ordinance number 193, series of 2021, and amended by ordinance number 100, series of 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item Q, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing a 7% increase for all members of the Policemen's and Firefighters Pension Fund to be paid from the general fund."
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item R, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing a 7% increase for all members of the Utility Pension Fund to be paid from the utility fund."
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item S, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky restricting the use of $2 million in the general fund for economic development purposes only."
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a thank you to Commissioner Clark, who's not here today, for huddling us together and telling us, giving us the suggestion about this.
Absolutely. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have a motion to recess till June 23rd at 8:30 a.m. in chambers?
So moved.
Sorry, 24th?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
We
Any
should've done that
discussion?
yesterday.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, this meeting will be recessed till tomorrow. Thank you.